What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Moneyline Madness podcast. It's your boy Matt here alongside Andy freaking B. Andy B, we have seen a lot of stuff happen over this weekend. We've had playoff basketball. We have some stuff in the MLB. There's even some UFC this past weekend. Ooh. How do we feel about sports in general right now? Because I'm enjoying every aspect of everything, basically.
Let's just cover this.
Yeah, no, Anthony Edwards, him not so much. Everything else in sports right now, we're rolling on all cylinders.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Oh, dude, our teams. I mean, you guys were a little close game. The Celtics like to didn't make it very ugly at the end. The Hawks did get hot, but yeah, if I think I tweeted it. The Hawks could not have thought they had a shot in this series. I mean, if you did, you were delusional. I mean, I know it was just game one, but the writing's pretty much on the wall. For
the writing's everywhere. I mean, and I saw it even before the series started. Yeah. When all the Trae Young discussions happening, you would have thought that they were a lottery team. You know, like you would have thought that this was a team that had been tanking and everything went south. But you're still in the playoffs. You have a series going on, and you're talking about potentially trading, the cornerstone who's supposed to be your guy. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're two teams that are built relatively similar. The only difference is the best player on one team is a point guard who, if he can't shoot, he's not really useful.
Not effective
at
all.
And the other team is wing, which is big in the NBA.
I mean, I can't wait. So you said I can't lie. They're not built nearly the
star
same.
Shooting guards, though. They got star shooting guards. They have main.
I guess DeJounte and maybe Jaylen Brown are similar.
They're big men are very similar too.
You'll agree with me that like Jaylen Brown clears DeJounte in every aspect.
That's the thing. They're similar in terms of like this team has a big that's more defensive oriented. Rob Williams, but Rob Williams is better than Clint Capella. Like Like, Al Horford, I guess, is still better than John Collins. I guess he's never really been
That's kind of disgusting to even compare. But yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right.
It's everybody clears them, but they're built relatively similar.
I mean, you look, and there's just a complete mismatch with Bogdanović and Jason Tatum. There's no answer for Tatum at this point because Bogdanović, I mean, even when he was giving a defensive effort.
Is there an answer left in the Eastern Conference? Like, is there going to be an answer other than Milwaukee, who, look, they're not dead. They lost one game. Is there an answer? And don't say the Knicks, please. I swear to God.
Listen.
Surely
how successful
Jason Tatum? I don't know.
How successful was Boston against the New York Knickerbockers?
Not good this year. It was not pretty. I will say, I do think if Danilo Gallinari comes in and maybe can just be a guy who stands in the corner.
There's no way that he's coming in on an ACL, off an ACL playoff.
If they make the Eastern Conference Finals, he expects to play.
That's crazy.
Granted, that would be against the Knicks, too. That's the only way.
It would. And let's talk about, for a second, Giannis getting hurt, right? So, this is my theory right now. This is what's going on. Giannis, potential injury, right? They dropped one to the Heat yesterday. Right? And so now the Knicks, all of a sudden, if you can beat the Cavs, which game one was very, very encouraging from everything I've seen, because the Knicks didn't play their best brand of basketball in game one.
No, they did not.
They did not.
Julius Randle was relatively ineffective, if I'm not.
And honestly, he wasn't 100%. I don't think that he was 100% at all, and he didn't need to be. He didn't need to go out there and put himself on the line like that when you had Josh Hart, you had Jalen Brunson just putting on a show. I mean, we didn't flash the cards of Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes. I mean, I'm not going to say RJ Barrett because there's not much cards to be shown there anymore. But everyone else, I mean, Mitchell Robinson had a fantastic game against Jarrett Allen, who's supposed to be a defensive player of the year candidate.
Evan Mobley was getting absolutely
Oh man, Evan Mobley, dude.
I thought he was gonna. The one knock on him coming out of college was he needed to beef up. He hasn't done it yet. It's been 2 years. So
this is gonna be. I think right now we are witnessing that Cavaliers. They're going through the same thing that the Knicks went through 2 years ago. That first round, all of a sudden they're realizing that man, this is a lot more physical of a game. You know, a different intensity than we anticipated. And the young guys like Isaac Okoro, the young guys like Evan Mobley, they're not ready for this. Even Darius Garland, like he had an okay game, nothing too great though, right?
Let's be fair about Donovan too. He doesn't have a great history in the playoffs. I mean, it's fair. It's fair to say that. Like, look, I know it's his first year with the Cavs, and I know it was only one game, right? But this is what Donovan Mitchell's been in the playoffs. He struggled even with great teams. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's a hot hand, and he'll give you buckets. But past Donovan Mitchell, nobody is scaring me. You know, it really, I look at the Cavs and I'm like, do they have that guy that really has confidence in himself as a number 2? And they don't. You look at the Knicks, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, both the way that they carried themselves in game 1. I mean, I knew I was going to get that out of Brunson, but when I saw Randle kind of with that Mobley play, with his hustle, his effort plays, I mean, he was all over the place defensively, diving after balls, getting in. You know, you saw him in Donovan Mitchell's face. Once I saw that intensity, I was like, all right, Randall's bought in. We have 2 guys, and it looked like the Knicks were just out hustling and kind of out intensifying the Cavaliers in that first game.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, look, the Knicks are a team that they went, like you said, they went through it already. Mm-hmm. Most of these guys, and Jalen Brunson's gone through it too. He's played in the playoffs too. So these guys went through it. They know what it's like to lose in the playoffs. A lot of the Cavs don't really know what that's like in terms of the Cavs came in, they expect to win.
Yep.
Usually they didn't expect to win, right? I don't know if they made it last year, but they didn't expect to win.
I think they were a playing team.
Yeah.
I want to
so
say.
it's different when you're expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
really,
I mean, I knew when I saw the Evan Mobley quote after the game of complaining about the physicality and you know, we got to go out there and hit them first, I guess. And then when I saw on the flip side, Mitchell averages more in the playoffs.
No,
Donovan Mitchell can get his buckets, but there's nobody else past him getting buckets, right?
But this is exactly what's happened every time he's been in the playoffs. He gets his, but he doesn't. He's not a guy who facilitates it enough. And
it's not winning
teammates
basketball.
Never do enough, and that's It's not on him completely, but it is something that has happened in the past. And look, it was one game, so.
Yeah, it's easy being the hunter. It's hard being the prey. Yeah, when you get hit first on the chin the way the Cavs did, we're going to see tomorrow how they're going to strike back. Now, Josh Hart
is that guy to step up for Cleveland.
Yeah, Josh Hart is doubtful right now, so that's definitely a big.
Mo said that, right?
Big blow.
They don't expect him to play. That's a big blow. That could even it up. That could be a look. Coming back to MSG 1-1 is not bad, right?
It's not horrible. Going back to MSG up 2-0. Now we're talking.
Look, when you put that in your head, now you're dreaming, right?
Yeah, well, yes, I'm not getting greedy. I don't want to get greedy. But going back to New York, going back to New York, tied 1-1. You stole one on the road. Isn't essentially in a series. That's all you have to do. Not all you have to do, but that's the goal, right? That's what we always say. Steal one on the road, win your home games.
Yeah, that's the old cliche. Stole one on the road. Now you're the favorite, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, we saw after that stealing one on the road, the Knicks all of a sudden went from underdogs in the series to favorites. So, I mean, I don't know.
Happened in a few other series.
Yeah. Okoro has to. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okoro has to play better. Cavs missed some pretty easy buckets. New York took advantage. Yeah, Okoro was not good at all, especially from the perimeter. They forced him to be the guy to kill you, and he didn't. But then you look on another angle. The Memphis Grizzlies essentially did the same thing with the Lakers, right? They tried to make Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves be the guys that are going to kill you. And they got unlucky, and those guys just caught heat.
Imagine losing to Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, that's a tough one, bro. Honestly, the Lakers, like Anthony Davis, with the stinger was just hilarious. Like, what?
Dude,
it wouldn't be an NBA
like
playoff.
He broke his hand too, or he broke his arm. Like,
it wouldn't be Lakers basketball if it wasn't Anthony Davis on the ground or heading to the locker room. You know, so once I saw that, I was like, oh man, this is Laker brand basketball we got going on. This is tough. And Rui is a decent player. He's maybe a low grade role player though. Like at this point, I don't know.
He's a good player, but it's not a guy you expect to lose to in the playoffs. It's like when I think a few years ago when the Celtics beat the Cavs in like the Eastern Conference Finals, every game it was Terry Rozier. Like that's not a guy you should be losing to in the playoffs, but it was all we had. So
Rui was a lottery pick, but everybody knew that Rui was a little bit of a reach at the time, right? Like Rui was never gonna be that guy.
Was he a Florida State guy?
I don't know exactly where he went to college, but
but that was an interesting game. All the injuries yesterday kind of made me upset. I'll be honest with you. Gonzaga, I mixed them up.
Yeah, he was a Zag. I forgot about that. They had a great team when he was on the Zags.
Yeah, so. I think it was Timmy on that team. I think
he was a freshman when
that series is interesting. The Lakers now. I know I don't like to overlook. I don't like to overrate one game, but when Ja Morant gets hurt like that, I like with Giannis. I'm still I don't know how to feel about it. I know backs can linger.
Budenholzer said Giannis is okay, So
I don't
know. But John Morant, it's like John
Morant.
Morant. Yeah.
Like I think the back injury lingers a lot. I know that it does actually. From
a tailbone type of thing. I don't know. John Morant's hand is way more concerning to me.
For sure.
I mean, John Morant, like he already had this injury going in, and I don't think John Morant plays at least the next game. I think he could miss maybe 2, 3.
2 or 3. Yeah, I think they're done. I'm being like, I think. Look, I thought that the Lakers had a pretty good shot even with John Morant. And that's nothing against Memphis. It's LeBron,
just
right?
Less script, right? Like script is written for LeBron James.
Who doesn't like? I know people have LeBron. What do they used to call it? LeBron fatigue. I don't. I want to see LeBron win the first round. I don't want to. Nobody wants to see him dead in the first round. So
I mean,
and let's be honest, they're facing the most unlikable team in the league. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. They're facing a team that already has a target on their back. Nobody is going
which they
to.
Put there.
Oh, absolutely. That was put on by your own buddy Dylan Brooks and co. Because honestly, Desmond Bane, after that comment, probably isn't too likable either, right? Like he was maybe the most likable, but now he's moved himself down the rankings for sure.
Yeah, Taylor Jenkins is their coach, I believe. What does he actually do? Because after Ja, look, you can't stop Ja. You're paying him a lot. He's your star, whatever. Dylan Brooks, a relative role player, but he's an upper role player. He talks, whatever. Desmond Bane, man.
Yeah.
Giving LeBron what do they call it? Blackboard material? What do they call it? Giving them any type of
incentive. Yeah, you're poking the bear.
What are you doing? Don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
Never. Especially when you're Desmond Bane. Why are you doing that?
Yeah. Now, the Grizzlies are definitely one of those teams where it's like you enjoy, like I enjoy watching the Grizzlies play, actually, because John Morant's fun to watch.
He's amazing.
Now, Dylan Brooks isn't fun to watch, but he's out there, I guess. You know, Jaren Jackson Jr. is pretty fun to watch. And Tyus Jones, who Leonard all of a sudden has a thing for. I don't know if you saw his Facebook post, but, you know, he's decent to watch as well. They're an entertaining team, especially if Steven Adams is out there. But I don't know. Bane, Rui could definitely light it up. Bane, again, doesn't have to be 28. He could put up a nice 17-7 game. No, Bane isn't bad, but all of a sudden when you're calling out other guys as if you're a top dog, like, I don't know. Memphis by 24 with or without Ja. I mean, you just gave yourself up right there without even having to have a name attached. Yeah,
fair enough. If you think you're going to win, okay. I tend to think LeBron's going to play better than he did yesterday, and I think the Lakers are going to win that series now.
Yeah, I the
Heat series, we haven't talked to much. I think it's going to sound dumb coming out of my mouth because of how big of a fan I am. I think losing Tyler Hero is massive. That is their second.
Oh, I mean, score. when you have no depth in the first place,
that's their second best scorer. You can't lose your second best scorer.
I'd arguably say that's their second best player because Bam Adebayo looks like a middle schooler out there. Yeah, he plays great at the beginning of the season. We get to like December, and Bam Adebayo forgets how to play basketball. Yeah. Once the new year hits, he stinks on ice. Actually, like Bam Adebayo cannot grab a rebound for you. He's not giving you any type of offensive game. It is disgusting.
It's not interesting.
I mean, Gabe Vincent has been more effective than Bam Adebayo in this first game. Even the play-in, too. I mean, that's disgusting. Miami's cooked. Yeah, Miami is definitely cooked. And their future's cooked. And I want people to start putting Pat Riley, not on a hot seat, but it needs to be acknowledged that Pat Riley has dug himself into the hole that the Miami Heat are currently in, between his bad contracts, between his holding of assets, and not wanting to go out and make his team any better. He settled with Jimmy Butler, settled with Kyle Lowry and his fat wagon, and guess what? Now you're shitting the bed. You lost Tyler Hero, and now you're left with nobody, and you're very lucky that Giannis fell on his ass. And you're lucky that Kevin Love is actually a piece of shit, because that was a dirty play. And let's talk about that whole argument on Twitter, that the charge should be abolished, because plays like Kevin Love were absolute bullshit. And I'm going to absolutely support any abolishment that has to do with that type of move, because you are putting yourself in a position where you're going to hurt that other guy no matter what the outcome is. It's not right. Is that just me? I don't know. They settled for Jimmy. That's a fact. They could have had Kevin Durant. You went after Jimmy Butler. You could have had Kawhi. Yeah, could have had
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Actually, I think wanted to play there. Am I wrong? I think I'm
maybe. I don't remember. But I don't like Kevin Love getting in the way of a offensive player like that and then immediately, I wouldn't say abolish, but we need to adjust these rules to where
look, I said it to my dad yesterday because we were both watching the Heat and Bucks game, and he hadn't watched an NBA game in who knows how long. I said on here, and Kyle was in the comments and he was talking, I like the college game more. That's if you've been watching, you know that. It is more enjoyable to me to watch a game where it's just back and forth. In the NBA, you got guys taking plays off, even in the playoffs. Like the game itself, and it's mostly because of the fouls. Because fouls get called far too often. They never let them play in the NBA anymore, and it pisses me off. They need to take a reset. And I'm not saying go back to the 90s when guys were like chucking dudes into the stands, but
we need to reevaluate how the game's being played.
Get back to a game where if you get pushed while you're shooting, or if you get hit, it's not always a foul. If it impedes completely, yes, obviously. But little ticky-tack stuff does not need to be a foul. The charge, it has gotten... Kyle Lowry has made a career out of taking charges. That's
probably the only reason Kevin Love is still in the league.
Literally. Right? That's not a strategy. I've never understood how that could be a strategy to draw fouls. That's not a good thing. That's basically saying to the league, your refs suck, so we're going to take advantage of how bad they are. I hate that.
And
that doesn't happen in college.
Yeah, essentially on that play, Kevin Love basically says, listen, they blew the lane. I need to go make some type of play. I'm not athletic enough to get up with Giannis, so I have to attempt to just take this charge because he's going to get a bucket regardless. So I'm going to put myself in position where Giannis is essentially going to get seriously injured, could have gotten way more seriously injured than he did.
And the tailbone is no joke. Don't you know?
And
they have to be.
There's just something we have to do. I think you shouldn't be able to just jump in front of guys while they're moving. If you're taking a charge, you have to be set and in position. Exactly. Like the line needs to be way more black and white than it is, and there's just too much gray area, right? Like you can't.
Another thing that could help is no charges in the paint. That's where they all happen, I know, but that's a place where that's where they all happen, and a lot of them are dumb. Like
it's just so tough.
I'm tired. Circle. But everybody knows to stay out of the circle because then you can't draw a charge, right? Well, if you just expand it, now you have guys, they're not going to go for charges. Mm-hmm. They're just going to try to defend them. They're going to try to play the game.
There's so many instances where we've seen guys get hurt on charge, going up. They went up for a layup, a dunk. Another guy comes in to take a charge. The offensive player ends up getting hurt. And it's just too much of a risk.
Almost got really hurt on a play like that.
Bro, and you lose
I don't know if it was a charge, but
and you lose a guy the magnitude of Giannis on a garbage play like that because of Kevin Love.
I think this is the spot where maybe they'll look at it because Giannis almost got hurt.
Yeah, he's a face of the league. You know,
yeah, so. I think if he would have been seriously hurt, this would have been a completely different conversation because, I mean, we'd be talking about the Heat moving on, which makes me sick. Which I don't think. I want to be clear. I think the Lakers after one game, because Ja's hurt as much as he is, I think the Lakers are going to win. I still think the Bucks are going to win it in 6. So I think Giannis will be okay after game 2. I think he'll struggle a little bit in game 2. Game 3 will be back to normal. But yeah, I think the Heat are still obviously heavy underdogs, but I think it's a lot different now.
You know what, man? I just got to say, if Giannis isn't 100% and even moves on, the Bucks, at this point, I'd have to agree with Simo and his take last week that the Bucks aren't safe. If Giannis isn't 100% and you have to come and face the Knicks with that much depth,
I think it'll be a conversation.
It's going to be a war.
Depending on how both of these teams come out of their respective games. Because if you come out of yours with Josh Hart's lingering, or
whoever gets to the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be hobbling in.
And I want to be clear, I don't mean this disrespectfully to the Sixers or to the Nets. They look like they're good teams. The Sixers are always they're a team that fights,
right?
However, against the Celtics in the past, they are an uncompetitive basketball team. Nothing shows me that has changed. The Celtics, barring an injury that happens on
need to be a plan.
The Celtics have maybe the easiest road and are in cruise control right now, which makes me happy as a fan. But I understand how if you're the Knicks and the Bucks, you're like, what the fuck? Like these teams are gonna. This team might walk into the Eastern Conference Finals. No disrespect, Double R, but Like, I think that's an interesting. I think everybody has to depend on how healthy you are going into your respective next series. But I think that Bucks and Knicks, if it is that, it will be very interesting.
It's going to be probably the best series yet, right? Like I would say that's going to be in terms of like teams going head to head and just it being an absolute bloodbath. You know, that's going to be a war. The Celtics are the only real threat.
No matter how bad we were against the Bucks this year, I'll be rooting for the Knicks all the way.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because like I don't
not only for this show, but also because I'd want to play the Knicks. I think it'd be a.
It's funny because I think the Knicks are now that team where it's like I don't think anybody wants to face the Knicks because the thing is like you think they want
they'd prefer it over the Bucks. Are you kidding me? They'd have to. I mean, unless Giannis shows he's clearly hindered to the point where he's almost useless, which in that case they probably don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals anyway.
Yeah.
If that were to be the case, I think the Celtics would obviously take that. But if it comes to Knicks or a healthy Giannis,
if it's healthy Giannis, that's the best player in the series ultimately. Yeah. Double R likes the healthy Sixers against anybody. Double R, I got to be honest with you, man.
I think Philly's doing Double R.
Got to be honest with you, Double R. Tonight, I do have the Nets taking this one. And I think this is, I think the Sixers take this series. Don't get me wrong.
In 5. Gentleman's sweep, I called it.
This is the McCall game tonight. I think tonight we see the McCall Bridges game.
Oh, McCall Bridges. I'm like, what? Yeah, Michael Bridges. Yeah, I call him Michael. I completely fucked that one up, but yes.
Oh, we had this argument, actually. How do you pronounce his name?
I say Michael.
Michael?
Could be wrong. Am I wrong? Is it McCall?
Double R, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts?
Or a, I guess, Ma.
Yeah, like, yes.
Yeah, do a Ma or a Ma.
I don't know, some type of pronunciation. Is it Mikal? Like, I don't know. Is it McCall? I mean,
you can always put it in Google Translate and whatever they say is usually what it is.
Is that facts? I got told
that's what me and my girlfriend do when I'm trying to say stuff, so.
It's tough.
I think it's
sweep.
McCall,
Sixers and 4. I think they just get one off. I just think it's one. McCall. So I was right. Okay. And Simo was criticizing me. Crazily. I know McCall. Yeah, facts. I think
tonight's on basketball
Bridges
always has it.
Yeah, no, I think.
Oh, yeah. Mick-L. It's Mick-L Bridges. Mick-L Bridges.
Damn.
Yeah.
But
we're actually both wrong.
Mick-L.
You're not going to be able to see it, but it does.
Like the word nickel, except.
It goes M-I-C-K and then L.
Okay.
Mick-L.
McCall Bridges. Okay. All right.
Well, there you go. We got to figure it out. Look at us.
Yeah. No. But I think tonight's his game.
Yeah, I do too.
Just the one, though. I think the Nets just get this one. And then, Mick. Yep.
Yeah.
This is their one game, and then that's it. Maybe a Cam Thomas. Maybe 25 from Cam Thomas tonight. But other than that, I think this one's going to be locked up for the Sixers. But like we're saying, I think Sixers Celtics, it may be a 6-game series at the absolute most, but I can't see the Sixers.
The history between the Celtics and Sixers it's always kind of gone the same, right? Celtics have pretty much dominated them every step of the way, especially in the playoffs. I remember, what was it? I think it was did we sweep them? I don't remember if we swept them the year Marcus Morris went 3-0. I don't remember if we swept them or not. But yeah, it's a history that I've enjoyed. So I think it continues. 6 games, I think, is relatively. I think it would be 5, but I think 6 games could be.
Disrespect. The Sixers disrespect. Now, I'm really curious to see.
I just think this is the time the Celtics were waiting for. I mean, we saw it the other day. They just it was 90-58. Like this is the time where the Celtics are like, all right, now we have to play. They made the finals last year. They know that it does not take the regular season. You don't win shit. Mm-hmm. You're the 2 seed. They actually might have benefited being the 2 seed, right? So like, yeah, they know it's.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that was really encouraging, if you're the Sixers, is James Harden actually performing in the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
like that was
something.
He then again, like, who's guarding James Harden? You know what I mean? Like, the Sixers are going to be rolling into this series against the Celtics next, and he said, "Sounds good." Yeah, well, we might have to have Double R on for a little debate against Andy, a little pregame of the first game. Hey,
Double R, how do Phillies doing? I was serious.
Man, I have a friend who's a good friend who's a Phillies fan as well.
You were sold a bill of goods that was not what you thought it was. I want to tell you that right.
Man,
that pitching's
it's tough. It's really tough. They got sold a lemon, and they have no choice but to hold that right now and maybe try and make a lemonade stand out of it. That's really all you can do.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Thank you for that.
You got to try and flip it, or else you can't call it yet. Like the Braves are still playing.
You're not on life support yet, for sure. You're right.
Yeah, and with the way the Mets are playing, like the Mets, they just had a nice sweep,
absolute sweep.
Garbage team, if like, come on, that's what the Phillies should have done this series. Right, but nasty business all around. But let's keep the
MLB talk.
let's keep the MLB aside. We'll be okay. If life gives you a few lemons, you make beef stew. There you go. You heard it right there. So going back, NBA talk. So tonight we have two matchups. Obviously, we said we thought that this was the McCall game, and then on the other side of things. Hold on 1 second. We have Warriors-Kings. Now, Warriors-Kings, Andy B, you said in our chat, no way am I betting that -1.5 for the Kings.
That was an L, man. Why'd I say that, right? No,
the Andy B curse? Is that what we're going to call it?
I kind of stand by it. I still think the Warriors are going to win the series. And I don't think that's a hot take yet. It's not going to be. But, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool for the Kings, right? Light the beam. That thing took over the NBA this year. It's awesome. Everybody loves the beam. I think the Warriors win tonight. I think they win this one in 6. Could see it going 7. So yeah, it could. I could see it going 7. I think when it gets back to Golden State, the Kings really. I don't think it's a must-win by any stretch of the imagination. They're up 1-0, but I think winning this game would be key for the Kings. You don't want to go into their arena needing to win both games. You just don't want that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and do we think that kid was poking the bear a little bit with his?
A little bit. Thought it was pretty cool though. You get an opportunity to talk to Steph Curry like that, you do it. I know how you feel. I know how it feels to be on the other side of Steph Curry. Last year, very rough. You don't know the things that I wish I was at TD Garden to yell at him.
What you could have said.
Yeah, I would have. Nothing mean, but. Not
this
nice.
May be the first series where no good team wins a road game, or where no team wins a road game. Yeah, it might actually. I don't know.
I don't know if this goes 7. I think the Warriors might wipe the floor with them.
I don't know about wipe the floor though, because
they don't want to go 7 with the Warriors.
I don't think I wouldn't want to go 7 with the Warriors either. But this still looks like an incredible series.
Oh, it's gonna be. I think it could be a 6-game series. That's amazing basketball. Right, like it could be a 7-game series.
Now, what happens if the Kings win this series? All of a sudden, what are we saying about Sacramento? What are we saying about Steph Curry? What are we saying about the Warriors?
We're not saying anything about Steph Curry. Listen to Klay Thompson. They've won their 4 rings. If they don't win another ring, they're fine, right? But
yeah, if Steph comes and just drops an egg, say in this playoffs, and then that's it, the Warriors dynasty is all of a sudden like chalk like that. So are we not going to discredit or like put a little tarnish on that legacy? Because all of a sudden, the same thing with LeBron. If they came in and just got swept by Memphis, he would have got judgment. If they don't win the series, I feel like Steph Curry, Draymond, Klay Thompson, they deserve some judgment. Double R says that'll be the end of that era and Draymond's gone.
Well, I think Draymond's gone whether they win a ring, whether they don't, whatever.
Draymond's a full-time podcaster. That's what he is.
Yeah, and he should be. He's really good at it. Tough. It's a tough look though.
Well, after when you're dropping pods
immediately,
that's kind of shameless. I can't even lie.
I respect it though. Respect the hustle, but yeah, rough look. But yeah, the Warriors have gotten a bit of a pass for some of the seasons they've had during this run. They had the number 2 pick in the draft. Am I wrong? Or number 2 behind this guy. All right, so they've gotten a pass before. So yeah, they've been a bad team before, and they've gotten a pass for it. And I think even if they lose, you know what they'll say? Hey, we weren't that good. We were the 6th seed. So hey, and they can use that, and I'm sure people will eat it up. And then they'll be favorites next year, right? Like we look at them so differently because they have won 4 rings.
Yeah, I guess.
Is amazing.
I hate.
I know a lot of people want to see Sacramento win.
I want to see Sacramento win. Truthfully,
I'm a De'Aaron Fox guy. I like him, but I do still think the Warriors are going to win.
Okay. Final predictions for tonight's 2 games. What are you taking?
I like the Nets. I'm actually. You guys have kind of convinced me. I think the Nets will win 1 game, and I think it'll be tonight. Don't think they win a game at home, which is kind of sad. And I think the Warriors knotted up tonight. I think we got 2 1-1 series after tonight. Go put your bets in because you just do the opposite.
Yeah, I think the Nets win tonight too, right? Because I mean, going to Brooklyn, like Double R said, I feel like if they're gonna win, it'll be in Brooklyn. But like, how much of a home court advantage is the Barclays Center? You know.
Actually.
So I'm taking the Nets, and I might go the fading I main route. I'm taking the Nets, and I'm taking the Kings tonight. We're 2-0 going back to the Bay.
Interesting. They've got the same. Well, no, I have the Nets, so I think it could be interesting. The one series that I was most interested in was how this guy and the Timberwolves competed. They kind of kicked themselves last night. They're done. I expected them to be a little bit more competitive. We didn't get into that game much. They were completely uncompetitive last night, and they don't look like they will be.
They're checked out. After the Rudy incident, they look like they're checked out for sure.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, too, because I keep beating a dead horse on this one. I want him on a team that he can win a title on. As an Anthony Edwards guy, we've talked about it a lot, and I think that might heat up this offseason a little bit.
There's a team with a lot of assets in a big city.
I've got a video. I'm getting ready for the Knicks this week. I'm getting ready to do a Knicks video, and I think he'll be brought up.
I think he could definitely be an option that the Knicks look into.
I said to my dad yesterday, I said, I never bought an Anthony Edwards Timberwolves jersey, and I was like, maybe it's because I don't think he'll be there long term. I bought his college jersey because obviously I'm a huge fan, but maybe I get a Knicks jersey. Maybe I buy the Knicks jersey when he's there.
You got to get the city edition if you're gonna get a Knicks.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna get
it, you got it. Yeah,
I've always supported. If you're gonna get a team that you don't like, you have to get like an alternate jersey.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It just feels like something you got to do.
I agree. T-Wolves will be lucky to be within 12 points in any game this series. Yeah,
fair.
Yeah. And it's not even like the Nuggets are playing a good brand of basketball right now because really they weren't.
Overmatch.
Yeah, it's just they're better than you. Like the Nuggets weren't even playing well. You just stink, truthfully. Like I hate to say it, but they're just not that good.
We didn't even talk about hockey, man. We got Devils Rangers.
Oof.
Local around here tomorrow.
Listen,
I'll tweet about that.
Yeah, you could. I'll let you have that because I'm locked in with my New York Knickerbockers.
Oh, of course, now. And I'm in on a few different sports as well. I'm obviously the Celtics. This is the time of year where I lock in. I kind of cruise through the regular season a lot like they did, and I lock in the playoffs. But also the Mets have had some pretty big news lately. So yeah, but I do. My brother's a huge Devils fan. It's gonna be awesome. Hoping to get tickets maybe to one.
Nice. I actually have tickets to the Yankees game Friday, and I'm so locked in on the Knicks game and stuff that I'm actually looking to sell my tickets.
I had that last year. My friends and I were scheduling which Mets game to go to around the NBA Finals. So yeah, that's
But I mean, it is what it is. If anyone wants Yankee tickets, hit me up. Let me know. For the low for the MLM viewers. But nah. I don't got much more. I gave my my little predictions out, but I'm gonna save the rest of my NBA. I have a couple things up the sleeve. I'm gonna save those for Most Sports TV this week because we will be back. Potentially not tomorrow. We could have some big, not huge news, but nothing you haven't seen before. But the Most Sports guys might be doing a little something tomorrow. So we'll catch you guys probably Wednesday for Most Sports TV. But yeah, other than that, I think that's going to wrap us up for today. Andy B, any last second thoughts for the peoples?
I'm excited to watch Brett Beatty at least once tonight. I'll probably go to sleep in the middle of the game. 10 o'clock starts kill me, but Brett Beatty, man, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Let's rock, Brett Beatty. Let's do it.
His successor.
Oof. All right. Yeah, we're going to end it on that one. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Double R, I mean, hope you guys have a good night. Ernest, if you're still here, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tapping in. We will catch you guys, like I said, more likely than not Wednesday. Stay tuned for any updates, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.